Hi everyone, this is Victor with Down Yoga. Welcome, this is our all levels class, 60 minutes. Karina will be here helping me today. And if you want to turn on the heat at home, so you can sweat a little more, you can do that. Otherwise, let's start in child's pose. So in child's pose, you can choose on having your knees a little wider than the hips, or you can also have your knees close together. Start reaching the hands to the top of the mat, and try to start with your arms being very active here. Spread the fingers wide, and try not to touch your forearms down the mat. And to begin with, just watch how the breath's flowing. I always like to say, to imagine we have four corners on our torso and you're filling up every single space you have on the sides of the body, on the back ribs, on the top of the chest. Creating like a wave-like motion with the breath. Say so. And you can always count in your head, maybe 1 to 5, for each inhale and also for each exhale. So they are even, same length, same intensity. And start increasing the tension with your hands pushing down towards the floor. And also think of pushing your hands forward so your hips get a little heavier towards your heels. And let's try to stay connected to the sound of the breath as we move. Now slowly you can roll up into a tabletop position. Keep the fingers spread wide, spinning the triceps back. Try to keep the arms engaged here. And from there, moving with our breath a few rounds of cat and cow. Allow the breath to guide you through the movements. Moving through the entire spine. Arms are still active, firming the shins down to the floor. Go through it one more time. Once you get into cat pose, keep pushing down. Round your back as much as you can. So you're trying to stretch the muscles in between the shoulder blades as you push down. Raise the chest as high as you can away from the floor. Try to push a little more. And from here, tuck your toes under and move into downward facing dog. You can keep your chin slightly to the chest, gaze towards the navel. And you can find any movement with your legs, with your hips. You can readjust the distance in between your hands and your feet as needed. Think of spreading your toes a little wider as well. Like maybe lift your toes off the floor. Try to bring the pinky toe and the big toe as wide as you can and then set them down again. And bringing the attention to the hands now. If you're driving the outer edge of the hands down to the floor, try to shift that. Bring the weight to the inside of the palm, the webbing in between the index and the thumb. Almost think of you're trying to lift the pinky finger off the floor, but you will not lift. Just make that action and spin the triceps down so the shoulder blades are moving to the sides of the body. Keep watching the breath here. Shift forward into plank pose with an inhale. Shoulders over the wrists. And if you need to readjust the distance between the feet and the hands, you can do that. Lift your right foot off the floor. Bring your right knee into the right elbow. And hold here for a couple breaths. Always thinking of pushing the floor away from you. So you're not allowing the gravity to pull yourself down to the floor. You are pushing yourself away from the gravity. And then reach the right leg back, set it down. Lift your left toes off the floor, left knee to left elbow. Again, still getting All that push with the hands, shoulder blades, the scapula working hard. Reach the left leg back. Pull your hips back into downward facing dog. And still connect with the breath the best you can. Notice the quality of each inhale and each exhale. Come into plank one more time. Now you have the option to put your knees on the floor or keep your knees off the floor. Bring your shoulders forward so the shoulders come over the tips of your fingers. Start bending your elbows backwards. Don't let the elbows bend to the sides. And hold here for 3, 2, 1. We'll go all the way down to the floor. Untuck the toes. Push down with the pinky toe side of the feet. Inhale, cobra pose. Lift your shoulders off the floor. Broaden the chest. Exhale, lower down. And keep firming the toes as far back as you can so your kneecaps are not touching the floor. Again, inhale, raise your chest a little higher. The legs are very engaged here. Try not to touch your knees on the floor. Exhale, lower down. This time with an inhale, come into upper facing dog. Really strong legs again. The thighs come off the floor this time. Keep rolling the shoulders back, chest moving forward through the arms. And with an exhale, you can roll over the toes, moving to down dog. Three deep, slow breaths, softly, smooth. Start walking the hands towards your feet. You can put a small bend on the knees if you need to. Reach the hands behind your back, interlace the fingers. Reach the knuckles up to the ceiling. You can keep the knees bent. And if you notice more weight on the heels, bring the hips slightly forward. So you're trying to distribute the weight on all four corners of your feet. If you have too much weight on the heels, bring the weight forward. Try to notice how much weight also you have on the base of the big toe and the pink toe. Try to make that even as well. Release the tension on the neck. You can release the hands, hands down to the floor. Inhale, halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale one more time, lengthen halfway up. Exhale, fold, plant your hands, walk all the way to downward facing dog. And 3 deep, slow breaths. And with your next inhale, you can look forward in between the hands. Come onto your toes, raise your heels high, bend your knees, exhale, step or hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. And with an inhale, let's reach all the way up. And as you reach, looking between the hands, maybe allow your palms to touch, get really long. Exhale, hands together, hands to heart center. Again, get connected to the breath. We'll do a variation of the Surya Namaskar, Sun Salutation C. Inhale, reach your hands up to the ceiling. Exhale, hinging at the hips, fold, bend your knees if you need to touch on the floor. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, lengthen. As you exhale, fingertips on the floor, only the right foot steps back. Right knee down to the floor, Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Keep the legs engaged here. Let's stay here for a few breaths on this first one. So you're reaching through the sides of the body straight up. And reach a little more with your back ribs. So you're reaching evenly with the front and the back of your body. Stay for another inhale. Reach a little higher with your hands. Exhale, both hands down to the floor. Step back into plank. Chaturanga Dandasana. Exhale, halfway down. Inhale, moving through your back bend, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, reach the right leg back. Exhale, right foot in between your hands. Touch your left knee on the floor, Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Switch right foot forward, left foot back. There you go. And again, hugging the navel in, the belly button in towards the spine, engaging a little you don't have to engage too much, but keep the engagement on the obliques and the abdominal muscles. Exhale, both hands down to the floor. Step your left foot forward. Inhale, halfway up, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reach your hands to the sides and up, all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Again, inhale, reach, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen, straighten the back. Exhale, fingertips on the floor, left foot steps back this time. Left knee down, Anjaneyasana, low lunge, reach up. Exhale, hands down to the floor, step back into plank, Chaturanga Dandasana, halfway down. Inhale, up dog, tops of the feet on the floor. Exhale, you can roll it over the toes, hips back, down dog. Inhale, reach back with your left foot. Exhale, left foot in between your hands. Right knee down, Anjaneyasana, reach up, low lunge. Exhale, hands down to the floor, step the right foot forward, lengthen again, halfway up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reach, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to your heart. Again, inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. With an inhale, come halfway up. Fingertips touch the floor, step the right foot back. Keep the right knee off the floor this time. Reach up into crescent pose. Exhale, right hand down, left hand up. Take a deep breath here, twist a little deeper. Exhale, left hand down to the floor, step back into plank pose, halfway down, Chaturanga. Up dog as you inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, reach with your right leg. Right foot in between your hands, exhale. One breath, crescent pose, reach really high. Send the breath to the sides of the body. Exhale, left hand down, right hand up. Stay for a breath. Inhale, stack the shoulders. Exhale, right hand down, step the left foot forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold. Inhale, reach all the way up. Looking between the hands. Exhale, hands to heart center. Again, inhale, reach. Exhale, fold forward. Keep watching the sound of the breath. And then inhale, lengthen, halfway up. Exhale, fingertips on the floor, left foot steps back. Keep your left knee up, reach up to crescent pose. Exhale, left hand down, right hand up. Stay for a breath, stack the shoulders, inhale. Exhale, right hand down, plank pose to Chaturanga, halfway down. Untuck your toes, up dog, inhale. Exhale, down dog, bring your hips back, reach the left foot back as you inhale. Exhale slowly, left foot in between your hands. Use your inhale to come up to crescent pose. Exhale slowly, right hand down, left hand up. Twisting from the upper back, take a deep breath here, stacking the shoulders. Exhale, left hand down, step the right foot forward. Come halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Bend your knees, chair pose, Utkatasana. And on this Utkatasana, hook your thumbs together. And then start reaching the hands as far back as you can and pulling the hands apart from each other. So your thumbs are together and you're trying to reach the hands away. So you're working on the strength on the scapula, on the back ribs. Keep bending the knee a little deeper. And keep pulling the hands apart. Try to increase the tension of pulling the hands apart from each other. Spread your fingers wide. Keep the weight on the heels, moving the shins further back. Bend your knees a little deeper. Try to increase the tension a little more. Pulling on the thumbs. And then inhale, stand up. Keep reaching the hands. The thumbs are still hooking together. Find a small back bend here. Point your tailbone down to the floor first. And try to lift with your chest only. So you're not taking this into your lower back. And then release the hands. Hands next to your body. Tadasana, mountain pose. Again, for deep inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold over your legs, Uttanasana, fold forward. Inhale, halfway up, lengthen. And then you can plant your hands, either step or jump back, halfway down to Chaturanga Dandasana with your knees up on the floor or off the floor. Inhale, up dog. With an exhale, downward facing dog. From here, push the heels down to the floor the best you can. And then reach your right hand back and grab the outside of your left heel with your right hand. You can try to find a little twist here. Look underneath the left armpit. Keep reaching the hips back. And the heels is still pushing down to the floor. They don't need to touch. Just keep pushing them down so you're lengthening the back of your legs. Now let's switch to the other side. Right hand comes back. Left hand reaches outside the right ankle. And again, twist from the upper back. You can gaze underneath the right armpit this time. Keep the quality of the breath, deep, slow breaths. Place your left hand back. There you go, downward facing dog. Deep inhale, this time reach the right foot. Keep the right toes pointing down to the floor. Reach your right leg back, there you go. And look to your right toes, see if they're pointing down to the floor. If you're not, think of spinning the right inner thigh up to the ceiling. Reach the right heel further back. Come forward into plank pose. Put your right knee to the right elbow. Reach your right leg, one leg plank, reach back. And then one push up here. Come down and up. Push up and then reach the right leg back again, three-legged dog. Exhale, right foot in between your hands, left heel down to the floor. Keep your hips and chest squared. Come up into Warrior One, Virabhadrasana 1. So the right knee is bent above the ankle. Keep the action of squaring the hips and the chest to the front of the mat the best you can. And on Warrior One, you can keep the hands apart. If it works for you, you can touch your palms together. Or even interlace the fingers and point the index finger up to the ceiling. And I'm losing my microphone here. Keep reaching. Now bring the hands to heart center. You'll give a small step back with your left foot, so your stance is a little bit wider. Walk the left foot back. Now square the shoulders to the side of the mat. We're setting up for Warrior Two. And the right foot will walk slightly to the center of the mat. So you're aligning the right heel with your left heel or the left arch. Open the arms to the sides for Warrior Two. You can bend the right knee a little deeper. And think you're trying to slide your heels towards each other here. So firm the heels down and start dragging them towards each other. They're not going to move. That's just going to engage the inner thighs as you hold this. So point your tailbone towards your left heel, lifting the frontal hip bones up. Soften the shoulders slightly down, but keep reaching the arms wide apart. Keeping the bend on the right knee, reach forward to extended side angle pose. You can place the elbow on top of the thigh, or bring the hand down to the floor, reach the arm overhead. You can stay here, or take into a half bind or a full bind. You can wrap the arm behind your back. The right arm can wrap underneath the right thigh, binding the hands behind your back. That's just an option. You can keep reaching the arm overhead, or take this option here if that works for you today. And you're still trying to reach the chest towards the ceiling as you do that. Keep the left leg strong. Release the bind if you have it. Now from here we'll go into triangle pose, right leg straight. If you need to step the left foot slightly forward, you can do that, so your stance is a little bit shorter. And again, stacking the shoulders. And now the front leg is straight. You want to move the weight from the heel to the base of the right big toe. That will protect your knee. And if you hyperextend your knee, you can put a micro band on the knee, so there is not too much tension on the ligaments. You're using the muscles and not the ligaments to hold yourself. And as you push the left heel back, reach the chest forward. So you're getting more length evenly through both sides of your waist. Now lower the left hand down to the floor, pyramid pose. And for this one, you can keep the back heel down or lift the back heel up. See what works best for you there. So Karina has her left heel touching the floor. If you prefer, you can pivot your back heel up and keep both legs straight. So you're working here and still working on squaring the hips with the floor the best you can. Reaching forward with the chest. And maybe flex the right foot, pointing your toes towards your face. Now bend your right knee. Plant your palms, step back into plank pose. Go through your vinyasa to downward facing dog. The hips reaching as far back as you can. Pushing the floor away from you with your hands. Moving the weight from the hands to the feet. Now as you inhale, reach back with your left foot, leg parallel with the floor. Look at your toes, make sure your toes are pointing down. Spin the leg. Come forward into a one leg plank, shoulders over the wrists. And then touch your left knee to the left elbow. Reach your left leg back, keep your foot off the floor, one leg plank again. And do one push up here, halfway down and back up. And then reach back, three-legged dog, reaching the left leg. Now exhale, bring your knee into your nose slowly. Left foot in between your hands. Set up for warrior one. Right heel down, reach both hands to the ceiling. Keep really strong with the right leg. Bend your right knee over the ankle. And the hands again. Karina is interlacing her fingers. You can just touch the palms or keep the hands apart. You can open the arms wider. See what works for your shoulders here. Try not to dump the weight into the lower back again. Point tailbone down to the floor. And keep the breath slow, even. Soften the gaze straight forward. You can also look up to your hands if that's okay for your neck. And from here, don't go yet. We'll move into warrior two, but we're going to move step by step. First, hands to heart center. And then start squaring the shoulders to the side of the mat. Step the right foot further back. Left foot step in, so you're aligning the front heel or the back arch. Now reach the arms to the sides for Virabhadrasana 2, warrior 2. Again, you're still trying to keep the pelvis neutral so the lower back is not arching too much. Scissoring the legs towards each other, working with the inner thighs to create the lift. Keep reaching the arms, soften the shoulders, and the gaze goes over the left hand or about 45 degrees to the side, if that's too much for the neck to look right over the hand. Keep a little more engagement on the right arm. Try not to allow the right arm to lower down. That happens a lot. And you stay with the breath. There you go. Karina is checking her on the camera. See how she looks. And then let's move into extended side angle pose. Elbow to the thigh, hand to the floor. See what works for you. Reach the arm overhead. And try to have your pinky finger down to the floor. Spin the triceps down so the shoulder blade is moving to the side of your rib cage. And you can stay right here or take the half bind or the full bind as an option. Keep the engagement of the right leg. Try not to bend the right knee. Firm the right quads. And the right side of the hip is moving down towards the floor, but the chest is moving up to the ceiling. So there's a little twist on the torso on this pose. So you're spinning your chest up, but the pelvis is still in the same place. So you're twisting a little to try to stack the shoulders. So the left ribs moving forward, right ribs moving back. Stay here for a couple more breaths. Keep the weight on the left heel. And again, on the left foot, we'll switch to triangle pose. So the weight will go from the left heel to the base of the left big toe as you straighten the left leg. Now you can reach the right hand up to the ceiling for Trikonasana. And on this pose, you don't have to stack your hips, but try to stack your shoulders. So the right hip is slightly down towards the floor, but also that small twist on the torso that we did on Parshvakonasana, the side angle. Same thing with triangle pose. Keep the engagement off the right leg. And breathe. Deep, slow breaths. Bring the right hand down to the floor. Set up for a pyramid pose. And on this one, you can walk the left foot slightly to the left so your stance a little bit wider. And you can also step the right foot a little bit forward if you need to. And you can keep the right heel down as we did on the first side. Or you can pivot the right heel up and have the back heel off the floor. You can keep the sole of the left foot flat on the floor or flex the left foot pointing your toes up towards your face, either way. Place left foot on the floor. If you're flexing it, bend your knees, step back into plank. Let's hold plank. Forearms down to the floor. Interlace the fingers together, forearm plank. Let's stay here for a minute. And on the plank pose, the legs are really important. That's what protects the lower back. So engage the quads as you point your tailbone to your heels. So you try not to arch the lower back at all here. Tuck the tailbone. That's what holds the mid portion of our body. And try to lift the chest as high as you can away from the floor. So you're strengthening the scapula again. The shoulder blades are working hard here. Driving the forearms down to the floor as if you're trying to create a dent on your mat. Pushing as much as you can. The outside of the wrists, the outside of the forearms and the elbow. Keep pushing it down. And breathe. 15 more seconds. And come back to plank pose, one arm at a time. Let's take 3 breaths in plank. Keep pushing the floor. Strong with the legs. And if you want, you can do a push-up or just go back into downward facing dog. Five deep slow breaths here, lengthening the back of the legs, pushing the heels down. Now look far in between your hands, raise the heels, bend your knees, use your exhale to step or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale, come halfway up, lengthen. Heel toe your feet about as wide as the mat with your toes pointing straight forward. Now place your left fingertips down to the floor or the palm to the floor, reach the right arm up to the ceiling for a twist. Firm your thighs here, both legs straight on this one. You can wrap the arm behind the back or keep reaching it up to the ceiling. Try to move the hips a little more forward so the weight comes to the front of the feet. And then let's switch sides. Right hand down, left hand up. Trying to keep both legs straight again. Try not to bend your knees. And you're working on stacking the shoulders. They don't have to be 100% stacked. As long as you're working on that action, you are doing it. Now lower the left hand down to the floor. Bend your knees, Malasana, Yoga Squat. Hands together to heart center, growing tall through the sides of the waist. And you can stay here for 5 to 10 breaths or take into crow pose, Bakasana. Plant your hands as wide as your shoulders. First, spread your fingers wide and think of gripping the mat with the tips of your fingers. That helps with balance. Bring the knees above the elbows, firm into the triceps as high as you can. And you can work on picking one foot off the floor at a time, or pick both feet off the floor. Flex your feet, point your toes back. And don't forget to breathe. Stay with your gaze steady, breath slow, even. Try to hold a little more, wherever you are. If you are just picking one foot off the floor, keep doing that. 3 more breaths. Try to stay with it. Keep wrapping the elbows in. 2 more breaths. You can hold a little longer. And then step or jump back. There you go. Nice, Karina. That was a long hold. Again. Connect to the breath still, pushing the heels down. Inhale, reach the right leg far back. One leg plank again, shoulders over the wrists. Touch your right knee to the right elbow. Reach the right foot back again, one leg plank. Do 1 push-up. Come up, 3-legged dog, reach the right leg back. Exhale, right foot in between your hands, crescent pose. Hands together. Lean slightly forward diagonally with the floor. Reach the left heel, thinking of the warrior 3 leg. So the back leg will stay like that. So when you come up to warrior 3, the left toes will keep pointing down to the floor with your foot flexed. Keep moving forward, weight towards the right foot, and pick your left leg off the floor. You can keep the right knee bent to start with. And then work on getting the torso and the leg parallel with the floor. You don't have to straighten the right leg. And maybe slowly have the right leg straight. Any variation with the hands, you can reach the hands back. You can reach your hands forward. Keep strong here. We do 3 squats from here. Left knee to right ankle. And then back to warrior 3. 1. 2 more times. Again, left knee, right ankle, come up, warrior 3. One more time, left knee to right ankle, come up to warrior 3. This time, slowly bend the right knee. You step the left foot next to the right, straight into chair pose. Reach the hands up. Utkatasana. Now squat as low as you can. Come all the way down. Reach the hands as far forward as you can. Open the knees wide to the sides. Boat pose. Have a seat. Shins parallel with the floor, or you can have the legs straight. Take a deep breath here. Exhale, halfway down, half boat. Reach your hands back. Interlace the fingers together. Reach the left leg up to the ceiling. Keep reaching the right toes straight forward. And you can keep your feet flexed or pointed. Now reach your hands up towards your left foot. Raise your shoulders as high as you can away from the floor. And hold. Now reach your hands back. Keep the left leg reaching up straight. Bend your right knee, bring the right thigh into your chest. Keep reaching the left leg. Now roll back slightly. Lift your hips off the floor and roll up into a seated position. Left leg straight, right knee bent. Left hand down to the floor. Now pick your hips and your left leg off the floor. There you go. And step your left leg back into a runner's lunge. Left hand down, right hand up. Twist. And breathe. Now roll to the outer edge of your left foot, side plank, any variation. In this side plank, if you want to take wild thing, you can step the right toes behind the left leg, and then lift the hips high, press the right toes up, open up the chest, the shoulder, 2 more breaths. And then slowly plank pose. Downward facing dog with or without a vinyasa. Reach the left leg back as you inhale. You can reach the left leg. There you go. Come forward into a one leg plank, shoulders over the wrists. Left knee to left elbow, touch it, and then reach the left leg back, one leg plank. You can do 1 push up. And then as you come up, 3-legged dog again, reaching with the left leg. Exhale, knee to your nose, left foot in between your hands, crescent pose, reaching up, growing tall through the sides of the body again. Bring your hands to heart center, lean forward diagonally with the floor. Stay here for a moment and work on straightening the right leg the best you can. So here's the setup for Warrior 3. Keep leaning forward and keeping the left knee slightly bent to start with. You can lift the right leg off the floor. Roll the shoulders back, chest really broad here. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. The right foot still flexed, reaching back with your heel. And from here, we'll take 3 squats. So the right knee will touch the left ankle. Bend your left knee, squat down. Inhale, come up, Warrior 3. Exhale, squat down, knee to ankle. Inhale, Warrior 3. One more time. Exhale, squat down. Inhale, Warrior 3. This time, as you squat, the right foot will step next to the left, Utkatasana, chair pose. Bend your knees a little deeper, reach the hands forward, squat all the way down. Open the knees to the sides, boat pose. Reaching up with your chest. You can have your legs straight or knee bent, your choice. Exhale, half boat, come halfway down, reach your hands back, interlace the fingers, reach your index finger back. This time, reach the right leg up. You can have your foot flexed or point your toes, see what works best for you. Really strong with the legs. Reach your hands now towards the right foot. Lift your shoulders as high as you can away from the floor and hold here. For 5, 4, 3, 2. Reach your hands back again. Bend your left knee, bring your left thigh into your chest. Keep the right leg straight. Now lift your hips, roll slightly back, and come up into seated. Right hand down to the floor. Now lift your hips and your right leg off the floor. Step back into a runner's lunge. Keep the right hand down, left hand up, twist. Stacking the shoulders again. Now taking to side plank. Any variation of side plank. Side plank or wild thing. If you took on the first side, you can do it again. And don't worry, Kanina, we're going to take a break after this. One more breath. Come back into plank pose. And your choice. You can do one push-up, vinyasa, or downward facing dog. And let's take a break in child's pose. Again, you can keep reaching the hands forward or bring the hands back, grab your feet, relax the shoulders. Watch how the breath's flowing. Try to slow it down. Keep working on the quality of the breath. And then let's come back into downward facing dog. Reach the right leg back. Exhale, right foot in between the hands. Crescent pose for a breath. Reach up. With an exhale, bring your hands to your heart and twist to the right, elbow outside the thigh. Keep strong with the left leg here, stacking the shoulders. As you reach the left heel back, the chest reaches forward. Any variation, you can open the arms wide, work towards the bind. Let's stay for another breath. Exhale, lower down, step back into plank. Plank pose. Bring your forearms down to the floor, forearm plank. Another minute in forearm plank, so stay strong with your legs. You can have your arms parallel or interlace the fingers, your choice. Keep the breath slow and even here, the deepest breath, so that will give you more energy to keep holding these. And think of strength on the legs here. Try not to bend your knees. Keep reaching the heels as far back as you can. Shoulder blades broad on the back. Try to lift your chest a little higher. 15 more seconds. One arm at a time, plank pose, both arms straight. And with or without a vinyasa, downward facing dog. We'll have one more of those, so be ready. Inhale, reach back with your left leg. Bring your knee to your nose slowly. Left foot in between your hands. Inhale, crescent pose, briefly. And with an exhale, hands to heart center, twist to the left. Strong with the right leg this time. Try to keep the breath long here as you twist. Take any variation with the arms. Spread your arms, take the bind. And always trying to breathe all the way to the top of the chest. Even when we're twisting, we tend to take shallower breaths. We try to keep the breath deep and slow. Let's untwist, hands down to the floor, step back into plank pose. Again, forearms down to the floor, forearm plank. One more minute here. Try to keep the gaze right in between the hands so the neck is aligned with the rest of the spine. Long through the back of the legs. Chest away from the floor. Round the upper back slightly. I forgot to look at my watch, so I don't know when 1 minute will be. So let's hold for a little bit longer. One arm at a time, plank pose again. Maybe it was a little shorter than 1 minute, I don't know. Maybe do another push-up, vinyasa to down dog. Your choice. Take a deep breath here again. And without lifting the leg this time, step the right foot outside the right hand into a lizard. Left knee down to the floor. Reach the left hand up to the ceiling and back. No, actually come back. The other side. Right hand up and back. And then you can bend your left knee, grab the outside of the left foot with the right hand. And keep spinning here the torso so the shoulders are stacking. Keep pulling the heel towards the glutes, stretching the front of your left leg. And you have the option to set your left forearm down to the floor or keep the left arm straight. See if that works for you. Releasing a little deeper into the hips, like you're trying to move the body forward. Then you can let go of your foot, both hands underneath the shoulders, plank pose. With or without a vinyasa, let's meet back in down dog. And again, without lifting the leg, take a deep inhale. Exhale, left foot outside the left hand, right knee touches the floor. Let me see if I get the sides right this time. Touch the floor and then reach the left hand up and back. Bend your right knee, grab the outside of the foot. Keep your right arm straight or bring the forearm down to the floor. Stay with your breath, deep, slow. Hands underneath the shoulders, plank pose, down dog. You can go through the transition with a vinyasa or not. We'll make a transition to our back now for a couple back bends. So you can look forward and you can either step, jump, walk, have a seat, lay down in bridge base with your knees bent, sole of the feet on the floor. And you can bring the heels closer to the hips. Lay down the back on the floor, there you go. And then start firming the inner edges of the feet, so the base of the big toe and the inner heel. Hands next to your body, palms facing down. And you can bring your heels a little closer, Karina. There you go. And then with an inhale, raise your hips for bridge pose. Walk the shoulder blades in, chest broad. Keep pulling the front of your hips towards the lower ribs. Stretch the front of your legs. The knees still stacked over the ankles, about as wide as the hips. And you can interlace the hands behind your back or grab the outsides of the mat. And as we do the back bends, try to breathe less to your belly and more to the chest. So you're trying to put more emphasis on the back bend happening above the TL junction, not on it, but on the middle of the thoracic spine, the upper back. So you don't want to bend a lot on the junction from the upper back with the lower back, the thoracic lumbar junction. I could say that. My English doesn't work sometimes. Point your tailbone to the back of your knees, and then slowly lower down. Take a couple breaths here. And we can come back into bridge pose or upward facing bow, wheel, hands next to the ears if you're taking wheel, or just come back into bridge, your choice. Keeping the weight on the heels, chest broad. And slowly can set it down again. Can windshield wipe your knees side to side a few times. Hug your knees into your chest. Rock back and forth to seated again, sitting Dandasana. Reaching the legs straight forward. Growing tall through the sides of the body. You can bend your right knee. And step the right foot outside the left knee. Bend your left knee as well. Bring the left heel next to the right hip. To half Lord of the Fishes pose, Ardha Matsyendrasana. Place your right hand behind your hip. Inhale, reach the left hand up. And as you exhale, you can either hug your leg or bring the elbow outside the thigh. With each inhale, keep growing tall, reaching the crown of the head up to the ceiling. Right shoulder moving further back. You can gaze towards the back of the room. One more breath. And then untwist. Now you can cross your legs a little deeper so the knees are closer together into Gomukhasana. You can readjust as much as you need. And you can stay right here with your torso straight up, or reach the hands in front of the legs and start walking the hands forward into a deeper stretch. Walk your hands back again. Now from these, you take into a double pigeon. You can slide the right heel over the left knee. Or just cross the legs in front of each other for Sukhasana. You can keep your torso up again or fold over the legs any amount. Double pigeon, Sukhasana. If you have half lotus or lotus, you can also do that, but be careful with your knee, so don't force into lotus. We'll stay on this one a little longer. come back up again. Back to Dandasana, sitting with both legs straight forward. Find your sitting bones again on the floor. Let's do that on the other side. Bend your left knee. Step your left foot outside the right knee. Bend your right knee as well. Taking to Ardha Matsyendrasana. Now reach the left hand behind your hip. Right hand up. Deep inhale. Exhale, you can hug your knee or bring the elbow outside the thigh. Again, as you ground down through your sitting bones, grow tall through the sides of the body. Use your inhales to create length and exhale to twist a little bit more. Stay for another breath. Exhale, untwist. Now take into the cow face pose legs. So you can cross the legs a little bit deeper, bringing the knees closer together and the feet to the sides. Again, growing tall through the sides of the body. You can stay right here or fold over the legs again. 5 deep, slow breaths. Let's come back up, taking to double pigeon, Sukhasana, half lotus. But also be very careful with Padmasana, with lotus pose. Don't force it. You can keep your torso up, straight up, or fold over your legs. A few more breaths. Stay soft and easy. Then come up slowly, reach both legs forward, straight legs. Breathe long through the torso again. Inhale, reach your hands up to the ceiling, flex your feet, engage the legs. Exhale, fold into Paschimottanasana. Keep growing again, reaching forward with the chest, lengthening. Spread your toes wide, engaging the back of the legs. Take another inhale, lengthen, come halfway up, still holding your feet. Stay for the full exhale. Now reach the hands up to the ceiling with an inhale. Lower the hands next to your hips. Put a small bend on the knees. You can move your hips slightly forward and you're going to roll down to the back. You can reach the hands forward. And as you lie down, bring your knees into your chest, take it into happy baby. Rock side to side. Allow the breath to come back to normal. No need to control the breath anymore. Just keep watching it. And at your own pace, no rushing. We'll set up for final pose, Shavasana. Give more space for your neck, sliding the shoulders down, bring the shoulders underneath the chest, chin towards your chest as well, lengthen the back of the neck. Soft legs, legs a little wider. And try to release all the stuff around the hips, the legs, toes, your fingers. Make sure you're not holding any tension throughout your body. This is the final pose of the class. I want to thank you guys for joining us again. You can stay here for as long as you'd like to. Thank you all. Namaste.